kids is just $5. That's right, take the whole family, because every seat for kids is just $5. Monster Jam! February 6th, 7th, and 8th, Hartford Civic Center!
A fare and share alike.
Good evening, Father. By the way, did you boff one of the neighbors while we were roasting marshmallows?
Frasier.
Monday at 7:30 on Fox 61.
Winter got you down. Why? It's the perfect time to drive a Toyota. Let Toyotas get the best of winter sale. Put you behind the wheel of a new Camry at a very affordable $249 a month lease with automatic, air, power package, cruise control, and cold kit. Get all the winter reliability that's helped make Camry America's #1 selling automobile. You couldn't find a better time to drive Camry. At Toyota's Get the Best of Winter sale.
Everyday people.
Don't miss this great Camry deal.
Oh my God, Mulder. It smells like... I think it's bile.
Is there any way I can get off my fingers quickly without betraying my cool exterior?
We tell a number of different kinds of stories on The X-Files, but there are two main kinds of stories we tell, which are the standalone episodes. These are the self-contained genre stories. Horror, thrillers, science fiction. And then we tell the mythology episodes, which deal with the Mulder and Scully pursuit of a conspiracy to hide something from the American public.
You want to tell me what this is about?
Burn it! In the next hour, we will look at the characters and the mythology of the X-Files, with interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and a preview of the upcoming feature film as we go inside the X-Files.
The X-Files is brought to you by Warner Brothers Fear, starting Friday, February 13th.
We think there's an unknown life form on this spacecraft.
1,000 feet below.
You're saying this spacecraft crashed 300 years ago?
In the most alien environment on Earth.
How did that happen?
A new kind of terror.
What do you think it is?
Is taking shape. Dustin Hoffman.
It's not me!
Sharon Stone.
There's something up here.
Samuel L. Jackson.
You afraid of dying, no?
Sphere. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 13th.
What the?
Greetings, people of Earth. We come in thirst. Surrender your Bud Light.
Or we'll be forced to zap you with our atomizer rays.
You guys picked the wrong house. Listen, you guys aren't aliens. I'm not surrendering my Bud Light. And those are caulking guns, you idiot. Not.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this, and Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm going to beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
We gotta go.
You're ruining my nap.
You don't understand. I can't get back late.
I do understand. We work for the same people.
Now. Technically, we're an entire minute early.
I'll note this on my timesheet.
FBI. FBI.
Special Agent Fox Mulder. I'm with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I'm Special Agent Mulder from the FBI.
I'm Agent Fox Mulder.
Mulder, FBI. Agent Mulder. I'm with the Bureau. Special Agent Mulder. Special Agent Mulder with the FBI.
I'm Special Agent Mulder with the FBI.
My name is Fox Mulder. I'm with the FBI.
I'm supposed to believe that's a real name?
Agent Mulder. I'm Dana Scully. I've been assigned to work with you.
Oh, isn't it nice to be suddenly so highly regarded? So who did you take off to get stuck with this detail, Scully?
Actually, I'm looking forward to working with you. I've heard a lot about you.
Oh, really? I was under the impression that you were sent to spy on me.
The premise of the X-Files is two FBI agents exploring the paranormal from two different biases. One a skeptic, one a believer.
Scully was green, but incredibly smart. I think what appealed to me so much was those first conversations between Mulder and Scully in his office, and the intellectual repartee that took place.
Now, when convention and science offer us no answers, might we not finally turn to the fantastic as a plausibility?
What I find fantastic is any notion that there are answers beyond the realm of science. The answers are there. You just have to know where to look.
That's why they put the I in FBI.
Fox Mulder is a Oxford graduate with a degree in psychology. He entered the FBI and immediately rose in the behavioral science department as a top profiler.
If there was a profiler like himself profiling him, he would have to work from the fact that he has some kind of oral fixation because he's constantly popping sunflower seeds. He doesn't have a bedroom. You've never seen him in bed. You've seen him sleeping only on the couch.
Good morning.
He likes to watch pornography.
Whatever tape you found on that VCR, it isn't mine.
Good, because I put it back in that drawer with all those other videos that aren't yours.
While he was working as a profiler, Mulder came upon the X-Files. Files that have been shelved or buried by the FBI and were not being investigated for some reason.
He went into deep regression hypnosis. While he was under this hypnosis, he recovered a traumatic memory from his childhood. He came to see in this memory that his sister was abducted by aliens.
Samantha! Samantha!
What time is it?
It's after 2.
Did you drive up here? Why didn't you call?
I needed to see you in person. I need to ask you something. I need to ask you about something that happened a long time ago.
This weight of whatever you want to call it, survivor guilt or whatever on Mulder would be compounded eventually when he learned that he was the one who was supposed to be taken and not his sister, and that his sister is dead or in pain or missing because of him in a very real way.
When Samantha, before she was gone, did Dad ever ask you if you had a favorite? Did he ever ask you that?
Fox, please.
Mom, did he ever ask you to make a choice?
Don't do
Mom,
that.
listen to me. I need to know. Did he make you make a choice?
He has learned that his father may have in fact been involved in this conspiracy from some time back, even before he was born. He may be the person who chose between Mulder and Mulder's sister, Samantha, when she was taken.
Fox.
In the second season, my sister, or somebody that I believe to be my sister, comes back to me, and this was my quest. So this is an important moment in the show. And as a two-parter and as these shows progress, it becomes clear to me that she's actually a clone. In the beginning of the 4th season, I saw many clones of an 8-year-old version of my sister.
Samantha? Samantha, it's me. It's me, Fox, your brother.
Well, he hasn't found the real one. We don't know. I mean, this sister version in the last episode where we saw her, who was raised by Mulder's arch nemesis, the cigarette-smoking man, may have been his sister. We didn't really learn whether she was a clone or not. In the pilot episode, we meet the cigarette-smoking man, a shadowy figure who blocks Mulder and Scully's investigations into the paranormal. It's hard to say what he's up to. He's like an all-purpose bad guy. He's up to whatever is wrong whenever we need him, and you never know what that is. So he's the Shadow. He's Darth Vader.
It's suggested that Fox Mulder may be the cigarette-smoking man's illegitimate son. So all of a sudden we have a very personal and possible connection to the devil, as it were.
How far back did it go?
How dare you? How dare you come here and accuse me?
Who is my father?
What do you want? To kill him again?
Just answer the question, Mom.
The question of Mulder being the cigarette-smoking man's son is still unanswered. We have, in fact, suggested that the offspring of that union between Mulder's mother and the cigarette-smoking man might be Mulder's sister, Samantha, and that might have some connection to her disappearance when she was 8 and he was 12.
Nobody quite wants to believe that I'm actually Samantha's blood father. I've heard people say that, you know, I've been a surrogate father. She treats me as a father because I've been so good to her. And then other people say, well, it wasn't Samantha at all. It was just a clone anyway.
My feeling is that she wasn't, but this will be answered. You know, a responsibility that we have in the show as we move on is to explain what happened on the night that Mulder's sister was abducted, why she was abducted, what are the plans going on by the government.
Hello, Bill.
Mulder's father had something to do with the original project, which was the experimentation on human beings with some kind of alien DNA.
You're going to learn things, Fox. You're going to hear the words. And they'll come to make sense to you.
What words?
The merchandise.
It was something that I'd seen in a movie called Shoah, which is about the Holocaust, and it was about how the Nazis had shipped Jews back and forth over the country, and in the ledgers, the human cargo were called merchandise.
I'm in a boxcar, buried inside a quarry. There are bodies everywhere.
Bodies?
Stacked floor to ceiling.
What happened to them?
I don't know.
Mulder, in these files, I found references to experiments that were conducted here in the U.S. by Axis Power scientists.
What kind of experiments?
Some kind of tests on humans, but they're referred to as merchandise.
From the look of it, I'd say they were alien.
Are you sure?
Wait a sec. This one has a smallpox vaccination scar. Oh my God, Scully. What have they done?
The lie you believe, that they have cleverly led you to believe, Agent Mulder, is that there's intelligent life other than our own, and that we have had contact with these life forms.
So you're saying this has all been orchestrated? A hoax?
Which you've been used to perpetuate.
Agent Mulder is led to believe that certain needs to build biological warfare into our arsenal are the reasons that the space alien UFO stories have been floated. So he now believes that everything that he has believed for the last 5 years, even about his sister and her abduction, may be false, that it may be just a cover story, that he has been a giant fool to believe.
I said on Jerry Springer, you're like an expert.
Well, I don't think this has anything to do with alien abductions. I don't even know if I believe in that stuff anymore.
Oh, come on. Really?
Backup! I need backup!
A rookie cop
facing unspeakable evil.
There's something really wrong here. These things aren't dying. I just blasted this thing, and it's still alive.
One of the most anticipated games of 1998, Resident Evil 2. If the suspense doesn't kill you, something else will.
Everyone's gonna die.
Now on video. Critics are calling Contact one of the best movies of the decade. Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey.
We are not alone.
Contact. Rated PG. Rented today.
Now this is gonna cost you.
A Big Mac extra value meal, perhaps?
Hands up, Twinkle Toes.
Did somebody say McDonald's? Proud to feed the world's Olympic athletes.
Shotgun formation. Quarterback's got time.
Dogs love
People have been asking how we put so many new capabilities into the Pentium 2 processor, like the ability to run software that lets you enhance photos, watch smooth full-screen DVD movies on your PC, and play games in lifelike 3D. Well, as you can see, it's all very technical.
Tonight, Mr. Reach conquers the evil Black Man. With new Reach Tooth and Gum Care. Get the only brush with feather-tipped bristles proven to clean gum lines like best.
And don't just brush, reach.
Now there's important news about relieving the aches and fever from the flu. In new guidelines, what pain reliever do flu experts prefer the most? The one you've trusted all along. The medicine in extra-strength Tylenol. Tylenol, the first choice for flu relief.
Kyle finds his soulmate, but it's not Amanda.
I think you should go to New Mexico and see her.
Christine? Melrose Place. Then, don't you just love weddings? Catch the Golden Globe winner for Best Comedy and Best Actress. Ally McBeal. It's a night of all new episodes, Monday.
You're not suggesting that a headless body kicked his way out of a lattice morgue freezer, are you?
And are you suggesting that Arthur Grable is not dead? Are you suggesting that I go before the violent crime section and present a profile declaring that these murders are done by aliens? Mulder, are you suggesting that the military is flying UFOs?
What you're saying is this man Rappo is leaving his body and floating around town killing people?
So are you still subscribing to the sheriff's claims of a possession? You don't honestly believe this is some kind of an extraterrestrial? And you suspect what? Bigfoot?
Mulder, what are we doing here?
Agent Scully, thank you for coming on such short notice.
Dana Scully is a medical doctor recruited right out of medical school by the FBI. And the FBI came to her and asked her, being a scientist, if she would debunk the work of Agent Fox Mulder, who had left the FBI mainstream to pursue the X-Files.
Damn it, Mulder, cut the crap. What is going on here? What do you know about those marks? What are they?
Why, so you can put it down in your little report? I don't think you're ready for what I think.
I'm here to solve this case, Mulder.
I remember everything being awkward at that time. You know, everything was difficult and just strange, and just trying to find my place, not only in the character, but also learning the ropes and learning how to stand on my mark and to hit my light and do all that kind of stuff. And the producers were up there, and I thought that the reason why they were huddling around the monitor was because they were discussing how bad I was and how could we recast this right now.
There was some pressure early on in the development of the show to establish that the characters had personal lives outside of the FBI, and we wanted to see who they were dating, and I felt that was all wrong.
At the time, I just assumed that that was going to be another relationship. That was going to be one of many relationships outside of her relationship with Mulder. It was just a given to me, and I think to everybody at the time, that that was just part of the storyline.
And I felt the stories needed to drive the characters, and their work needed to drive them, that their work was all-consuming, and that they actually had no personal lives, that this was a quest, a romantic quest in the literary sense.
What normal people strive for and live for, you know, warmth, security, a family, these things are just, they fade away in the brightness of the light of his quest, which is just to find what he believes is the truth. So there's nothing else, really.
There's classified government information I've been trying to access, but someone has been blocking my attempts to get at it.
Who? I don't understand.
Someone at a higher level of power. The only reason I've been allowed to continue with my work is because I've made connections in Congress.
And they're afraid of what? That you'll leak this information?
You're part of that agenda. You know that.
I'm not a part of any agenda. You've got to trust me.
Though she was a scientist and didn't believe in the paranormal, there was enough that was unexplainable that it piqued her interest and made them partners, and so it's been for 5 years.
I told David, and then I told Chris.
Gillian Anderson came to me in season 1 and told me she was pregnant.
If I truly comprehended the implications of that, it would have floored me.
I figured quickly that her pregnancy would extend over not just the first season, but into the second season when she'd have to go off and have her baby.
What it did, in a very interesting way, was it forced Chris and the writers to come up with an arc, which we had never done up until that point.
We came up with a story arc that really became crucial to the rest of the show, which is Scully's abduction by forces unknown, and what happened during that abduction has played in a very important and valuable way to the telling of this mythology.
Mulder! I need your help! Mulder! Where is she? I'm free, you son of a bitches! You can't touch the white fairy anymore! Don't move! Ah! Don't move! I'm not going anywhere! Where is she? Where'd you leave her? They took her! Who? Them!
Gillian was gone for really 3 episodes, even though it was shot cleverly enough to make her look like she only missed 1. And those 3 episodes, from Dwayne Barry to Ascension to One Breath, really became like our first arc and the core of all the subsequent arcs that have arisen since then. So I think it was, you know, it was hell at the time, but I think it was probably one of the luckiest things that happened.
You'll also see a display on the 10 most wanted. You might see a few of your relatives there. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to answer them.
Making you come in the front door these days, are they, Agent Scully?
For now.
Agent Scully learns by going through a metal detector that she has something metallic in her body, which turns out to be a chip in the back of her neck, which we learn was placed there during her abduction.
What mark? Here. On the back of your neck.
We all have them. It's where they put the implants.
That chip plays a very important part in Scully's life. Ultimately, the removal of it leads to the possible onset of her cancer.
I have cancer. It is a mass on the wall between my sinus and cerebrum. If it pushes into my brain, statistically, there is about 0 chance of survival.
I don't accept that. There must be some people who have received treatment for this. We can...
The opportunity the storyline gave me just to do something different, experiment with aspects of the character that I hadn't delved into before was tremendous.
You have always been the strong one. But you are my only daughter now. I know.
Dana?
Bill?
Well, there was a scene that Bill had done with Dana, and it got taken out because the script was too long that week, and they needed time, and they cut it out.
You look good.
Thank you.
Charles is sorry you couldn't make it. He'll call you tonight. If you're feeling up to it.
Sad cause for a family reunion.
Oh, did Mom tell you? Get new orders. NAS Miramar, Dad's old stomping grounds.
That's great. Huh. Yeah, I was out there not long ago. A lot of old memories.
Yeah. A lot of ghosts now. Dad. Listen. Mom's getting worried there's going to be no one to carry on the Scully name. Guess the pressure's on, huh?
Determined to find a cure for Scully's cancer, Mulder gains access to a secret government facility where he finds a chip identical to the one taken from her neck.
This is a cure for cancer? It may be for Scully's.
Putting it back in leads to possibly the remission of that cancer. So it is very important, and its ultimate purpose is still a mystery.
What are these? Human ova. Taken from whom?
What?
Harvested during her abduction through a high amplification radiation procedure that caused superovulation. Why? For fertilization. There are mothers.
Later, Scully learns that the ova taken from her body during her abduction have been used to create a child.
According to this, I am Emily's mother.
The tricky part was how to be with this child. There's a coldness, there's a wariness, there's an awkwardness, but at the same time, there's this need from Scully to love and to be loved in this way.
Your name's Emily, right? I'm Dana. This must be very scary for you. I just wanted to let you know that everything's gonna be fine.
And the inevitability of her death is quite large, yet she's willing to fight. But yet there's not that connection, so it was tricky to know quite how to play that.
Fox.
And I even made my parents call me Mulder. Mulder.
Mulder, I wouldn't put myself on the line for anybody but you.
If there's an iced tea in that bag, could be love.
Must be fate, Mulder. Root beer.
It sounds cliche to say that they're best friends, but they're best friends beyond what lovers could ever be.
Scully loves Mulder, and Mulder loves Scully. It's a wonderful romance. It's just not a sexual romance. It's not a physical romance. It is a caring, tender, respectful relationship. It's an ideal, and I would never want to do anything to threaten it, to change it.
One of the things that keeps people watching and keeps the aliveness between us is are those moments where there is that intimacy, where even just the touch of a hand can be the same as you know, making love in another series.
It's like the one friend, I guess, that he has in the world. I mean, I heard a phrase once, somebody was talking about their wife. This was a person who was very inept socially, not the wife, but the man. There were many things said about him that weren't kind, and he said, my wife, who is lovely and social and everything like that, is my human credential. It, like, makes him a human being because people think if she can stand him, he must have some humanity within him. And sometimes I think about Scully as Mulder's human credential. It's the only thing that makes him not crazy in many ways.
Hanging out with Mr. Potato Head, he's all fired up about some hot new things.
The incredibly delicious new fries at Burger King.
Yeah, and they also have the seriously tasty new Big King for just 99 cents. 75% more flame broiled beef than a fried Big Mac. And the Big King won in a national taste test. Hey, I'm talking about better taste. That's a great value at only 99 cents. So, anything else?
I'd like to give a shout out to Mrs. Potato Head.
Hey.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you. If you're young at heart, or as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart.
Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. Good for you? Sure. But you really want the big sweet crunch that brings out the kid in you.
If you are amongst the very young at heart.
Inside the X-Files will return in a moment on Fox.
Catch the true story of an Olympic dream. Cool Runnings, Tuesday on Fox.
You like the way you feel when you get what you need to do what you do well.
To keep its value, your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln just needs a little attention now and then. An oil change, brake job, a system check. Quality care from the people who know it best. And they're waiting for you at the place it all started.
At your service, quality care.
Quality care service from Ford and Lincoln-Mercury dealers.
With Plymouth, this is what you pay for, and this is what you get. What you pay for, what you get. For instance, Plymouth Voyager. You get standard air conditioning, car-like handling, easy out-roller seats, and more. And this is what you pay. One more time. This is what you pay for, and this is what you get. That's Plymouth.
With Bell Atlantic Mobile, you can make important calls from just about everywhere, like the I'm stuck at the airport call, or the I'll be late for dinner call. That's because everything we do is for one reason. That moment.
Hi, Daddy.
When you make the I wish I could tuck you in call.
Will you be home for your morning hug?
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Your call goes through. A cell phone is only as good as the network it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
This is Fox 61 WTIC-TV, your Connecticut lottery station.
You wrote me that beautiful song.
It's not about you. An all-new 90210. Then, are you prepared
Charlie's in the hospital.
for what's about to happen?
He's gonna be okay? I don't know. I want to see.
An all-new Party of Five. It all starts Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
The world's greatest skaters perform, plus the exclusive first interview between Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Breaking the Ice, The Women of 94 revisited, Thursday on Fox.
Well, I tell you, bloopers can happen anytime, you know, and it's just, it can be somebody blows a line.
They called me down from D.C. trying to develop a clear something for the court.
Have you?
They called me down from D.C. trying to develop a clear diagnosis for the court.
Once you start laughing, it's no longer under your control.
But if I even sense that the other person is going to break, I'm gone like, 200 miles an hour.
She starts giggling, and it's all over.
doing? Can we cut? Real Jonathan. Sorry.
Check it out, Mulder. I had breakfast with the guy who shot John F. Kennedy.
Is that so?
Old dude now, but yeah. Says he was dressed as a cop on the grassy knoll.
The Lone Gunmen are a trio of conspiracy theorists and a government watchdog group. They published a newsletter called The Lone Gunmen.
In our April edition of The Lone Gunmen, we ran an article on the CIA's new CCD-TH-2138 fiber optic lens micro video camera.
The Lone Gunmen are these three computer nerds who are Mulder's buddies.
He comes to us for information he can't get through his regular channels. You know, we have apparently connections to various sorts of information that he can't
We
get.
can dig it up
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
faster than he can
We
dig it
seem
up.
to know a hell of a lot.
They use this magnetic strip to track you. Whenever you go through a metal detector at an airport, they know exactly how much you're carrying.
They do actually help Mulder, and they have some kind of expertise. Okay, Langley, Prohickey, I'm here. Open the door.
The doors work on redundant systems. We're working fast.
Almost there.
Go!
Well, how I came to be cast in the X-Files, I auditioned for the pilot. I auditioned for the senior FBI agent who had 3 lines. I didn't get that part. I got the part with no lines, called the cigarette-smoking man. And then I guess Tombs was probably the next episode, and where I actually spoke a little bit.
Do you believe them? Of course I do.
I imagined myself to be quite powerful. Then, kind of all of a sudden, at least for me, the syndicate appeared with the well-manicured man and the first elder, and I seemed to be in some way answerable to them. The syndicate seems to be working with the aliens towards some kind of goal.
Bill Davis told me that he believes that he is the hero of the show.
Well, I mean, I think it's obvious that CSM is the hero of the show. I mean, surely it's obvious to everybody. I mean, Mulder's so impetuous. You know, he's always flying off the handle. He's always waving his gun around. I mean, what kind of responsible citizen is he?
I should shoot you right here, but they'd probably be able to save you.
Whereas CSM is always very thoughtful, thinks things through, delegates responsibility. I mean, clearly has a handle on what's going on.
As I said, I'm offering you a chance to know the truth.
In exchange for what?
Quit the FBI. Come work for me.
So that's Bill Davis's point of view on the character, and I guess, you know, whatever makes it easy for you to sleep at night, CSM.
I play Assistant Director Skinner, who is their superior. They are directly responsible to who gives them their assignments.
Agent Mulder, Agent Scully.
He's a very by-the-book individual within the FBI. I think he has very high moral standards. He's a very ethical person.
Why don't you tell me what you're doing here?
I want an answer from you.
I want an answer from you.
This isn't your job.
My job is to direct the agents under me, to question their motives when they're lying about investigations.
It's hard to figure out what Skinner's up to. He's kind of gone back and forth between being in Mulder and Scully's camp and towing his FBI line.
The Skinner relationship has evolved. Early episodes, I used to hang out in his office all the time. I was often in his office. I quite liked those scenes. He had very, very comfortable furniture, and I just kind of hung out. Of course, then he got irritated with my smoking, and he put up this little sign saying, "Thank you for not smoking," which I looked at and lit up anyway. And then he starts going over to the other side in a way. He starts getting affected by Mulder.
What is this?
This is where you pucker up and kiss my ass.
Now listen,
you listen to me, you son of a bitch.
It had been such a hard thing for him to deal with him like that for so long. So when he was able to, you know, just look at him and tell him to kiss his ass, it was It was a fine moment.
Krychek. Alex Krychek.
Skinner didn't say anything about taking on a partner. Alex Krychek was hired to fill in for Scully when Gillian got pregnant. Mulder needed a new partner, and Krychek came in and then seemed to be just a young green agent, innocent enough, and then turned into like some kind of double-dealing secret agent working for the cigarette-smoking man.
If Mulder's such a threat, why not eliminate him?
Kill Mulder and you risk turning one man's religion into a crusade.
And now he's just kind of out there on his own because he's double-crossed everybody, possibly killed my father.
Dad?
He has become not just another treacherous character in the series, but one of the most treacherous, a man who now works only for himself.
This character is somebody that the audience loves, for lack of a better description, loves to hate. One of the things I love about playing this role is that it's a very physical role, and I love doing physical acting. It was a force that literally pushed me from behind, and you could feel the heat up your back, and it looks great, I think, on camera. Punching me, my head had to snap in order to sell the punches. He hits me full on with the phone on the forehead. I go down, and as I'm going down, I'm going, keep rolling, keep rolling. The next day, the whole side of my face is bruised. You know, whether it's hanging from 17 floors by one arm, when I'm being chased by horses in Tunguska, it's all like play. It's so much fun to do. Nine lives, I've used 5.
Every kind of leak or mole that Mulder's had into the conspiracy, into the government, has either died or betrayed him. In the first season, it was Jerry Hardin, who played Deep Throat, who was kind of this avuncular, paternalistic figure who was fond of Mulder, you got the feeling.
Why did you lie to me? I needed to divert you. You and Scully are excellent investigators, and your motives are just. However, there still exists some secrets which should remain secret. Truths that people are just not ready to know. I see him as a man who felt like there was something that needed to be changed. If he himself became the action figure, if you will, then he becomes blown out of the way. Trust no one.
The killing of Deep Throat at the end of season 1 was a giant thing for us. I think some people thought it was the end of the show. It was that big of an event.
He was replaced by Mr. X, who is played by Stephen Williams, who is less fond of Mulder.
Today's high-capacity compact 6.40 caliber weapon is pointed at your head to stress my insistence that your search for who put your partner on that respirator desist immediately. You ignore my call for help and you expect me to do what you say. You go to hell! You got him killed. You got her killed. That's not going to happen to me. You're my tool, you understand? I come to you when I need you.
X was a survivor. That was his whole trip, that this man would do anything to survive. He was a stone-cold killer. It was Chris Carter himself called me up. He said, X is going to take a bullet. It was a little sad because I didn't want to see that character go. But I had made it up in my mind to make it one of the best exit scenes, you know, that I possibly could.
When X meets his ultimate fate, which is to die on the floor in Agent Mulder's hallway, he writes the letters in blood, his own blood, SRSG, which leads Mulder to the special representative to the Secretary General of the UN. It's Marita Covarrubias.
Mr. Mulder. Not everything dies, Mr. Mulder.
The episode in which they shot Deep Throat, when they sent the script to me, there was a note from Chris on there saying, no one ever really dies in X-Files.
The only thing that I did not like about X's death was that I didn't think it was a very smart death. And then I thought, maybe X staged the whole thing himself. Maybe it's not an unsmart death. He'll be back. He's not dead.
With the knowledge that the previous informants have been killed, I think that it's possibly my fate in the future, unfortunately. But then again, as Marita would say, not everything dies.
The completely reinvented 205 horsepower Isuzu Rodeo. Too far. 1998 Isuzu Rodeo models start at $17,995.
I don't have much time.
Okay, say flight from prosecution.
On February 6th, international action star Chow Yun-fat is coming to America to do what he does best.
I'll need guns.
From executive producer John Woo, Chow Yun-fat, Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino. The Replacement Killers, directed by Antoine Fuqua, rated R, opens Friday.
Inside the X-Files will return in a moment on Fox.
Tonight, 3 Connecticut teens disappear on a ski trip in Vermont. Their happy ending coming up. No deal of immunity yet for Monica Lewinsky. She's heading back to California. And the latest on the showdown with Iraq is coming up on the news at 10.
A barrier is broken. A wall comes tumbling down, and 2 worlds come together. The Earth meets the sky. The Negro League meets the Major League.